Don't look now, but San Diego is fast becoming a must-visit culinary destination. For the past decade, one spot has been centered in the midst of this gastronomic revolution, urban wood. I recently caught up with the man behind this Little Italy hotspot, Chef Brian Malarkey, a familiar face to anyone who's watched Food Network, cooking competitions, or just loves great food. Never short on words, Chef spilled the beans on how he went from a cowboy kid in Oregon to one of the top restaurateurs in America, what it takes to go from running a kitchen to a culinary empire, and just how real those cooking competitions are anyway. This is A Few Beers with Chef Brian Malarkey.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Brian Malarkey. Oh yeah, let's
Yes.
open with an athletic. I need to start calling out what beers we're drinking, by the way. These are probably the best NA beer, I feel like.
It is definitely the best NA beer.
If you gave it to somebody, I don't even think they'd know. Like half the time.
I offered it to my kids the other day. I was like, hey, you guys want to try some beer?
I guess I can, right?
I got a bunch of teenagers, and they're like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, you want some beer? Here.
I got a 5-year-old, and that's like where my mind immediately went. I was like a little young, but maybe.
The teenagers, they're all very alcohol curious.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot less than they used to be.
I've heard that that's just a trend across the board, that like younger people are not drinking as much.
You know, and at first it sounds like it's an amazing thing, like, oh my God, they're becoming more evolved, more sophisticated. No, it's actually the opposite of that. We're diving, they're so locked in here, they can't look here. So you want them, you're almost like, you know, I'm not condoning kids drinking, but you want that social aspect.
Totally.
You go hang out with your friends. On a Friday, Saturday night, I'll walk into a room with a group of them, and there'll be 10 kids like this. I was like, are you guys texting each other? Like
crazy.
Like they're all so, it's not because they're getting smart that alcohol is not the best thing with heavy consumption. It's that they're sitting around completely lost in their computers.
I was just talking about this yesterday, which is funny with somebody who has teenagers, but then we had a Greg Cook on the show. I always, because it's Coke or Cook, Greg Cook, one of the founders of Stone, and we talked about this like at length, and he had like a whole bunch of like reasons for why it's happening. But yeah, it's the social aspect's been lost, and like drinking, there's a lot of negative aspects to it, but it also means you're getting out there and like interacting with people. So
you know, I mean, it's like that's kind of how you break the ice.
Totally.
When you know, I mean, you use it for the crutch that it is.
Yeah.
It's good. You almost want your kids to go out there and be social and get out of their rooms and stuff like that. And ideally, it doesn't require alcohol consumption to do that. But you know, I mean, when I was a teenager, I mean, life was crazy.
Let me tell you, You grew up in Oregon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Out on a ranch in Bend, Oregon.
You grew up on a ranch?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Did that influence your cooking?
I'm going to say this, and everybody who's ever heard me do an interview is going to be like, God, does he ever say that? I was high school rodeo state champion 3 years in a row.
Unbelievable,
Did
dude.
I grow up on a ranch? I was the king of the Cowboys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What did you ride?
So this is the bad part now. So I didn't ride the bucking horses, the bucking bulls. They have, if you've seen Yellowstone, the cutting horses where the cows trying to get back. So they have cutting in high school rodeo. So I actually did the very non-cowboy thing, but it was actually really cool. The horses are so well trained, and it's called cutting. And so I was high school rodeo Oregon state champion 3 years in a row.
That is amazing. That is also significally more badass than anything
I can rope. That's a good thing.
Yeah?
I've been bucked up. I've been bucked up. Yes, I could. Yes, I could. Give me. Where's my rope? Rope.
We'll end the show with that. That must have influenced your cooking, I would think. A lot.
Right? Yeah. A lot. I jokingly say it was when I realized that Al, our pet cow, was dinner. That's when things really changed for me. That's when I was like, what? I mean, after the tears were shed, it got to the point where I would steal the T-bone steaks out of the freezer, because when you butcher a whole cow, you got to freeze it, you know. And so I'd take steaks, and I'd be like, and then we'd meet my friends.
How old are you at this?
16, 17.
Okay,
not drinking.
Just stealing cow.
And we would literally go like build fires out in the woods, out in the desert and stuff like that.
Man.
And put grills, and we'd grill steaks. And that was part of the fun. You'd be playing Hank Williams Jr. or Alabama.
This is amazing. Yeah, what a wild experience.
It was good. It was good. 4-wheel trucks.
This is all surprising to me, because one of the things I was going to tell you right off the bat, you're fly, like every time I see you, your outfits are out of control.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, how much work do you put in that? But then I wouldn't have thought that you came from a cowboy background based on.
Yeah, you know, it was funny, even though I was a cowboy, I didn't think cowboys were cool. So I went to Redmond High School, and the Cowboys wore the Wranglers. They had the Copenhagen round thing in the back pocket.
Burned into that pocket.
Burned into the back pocket. I would wear Wranglers on the weekends at the rodeos, but I wore Levi's and kind of Matthew McConaughey white T-shirt, same thing I kind of wear now during the week. And all the cowboys were like, "What you doing?" And they weren't even real cowboys. They just dressed like cowboys, but they knew I could legit ride a horse better than they could. I could, And so I've always had one foot in both camps.
Yeah, the cred to back it up by riding those cutting horses.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How do you go from that to where you are now? I mean, that's a huge question, but generally, just geographically, you grew up there. We're in San Diego right now. I mean, how'd you navigate your way down here?
Chefs are mercenaries, right? So I didn't know what I wanted to be. I fumbled around college. I went to University of Portland, flunked out. Went to Santa Barbara City College. Was majoring in theater until my dad said, "You are a horrible actor."
Your dad said that? Did he see you in a play?
Horrible. Yeah, they weren't kind back in the old days. Parents told you what they thought. And so he said, "All you do is cook and make drinks for your friends." I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Do that for a living." I was like, "I will party my life away. Yeah. If you're gonna pay for the build out, I will party." And so he put me in culinary school, and it was like, wow. Speaking of fashion faux pas, houndstooth pants, the checkered black and white pants, the starchy jacket, the paper hat. I was like, "I don't belong here."
You had the actual
they had the hats. Everyone had to wear them. This handkerchief. I hated it. But I did an internship at a restaurant in Los Angeles called The Citrus, and I walked in, and the cooks were rock stars. And it was a glassed-in kitchen. And the celebrities, it was in Hollywood, the celebrities were watching the cooks. And there was, my Mexican friends, there was French chefs, and I got in there, and I was like, this is it. We're rock stars. This is comfort and chaos, and at that point, I knew what I wanted to do.
It's funny that you use that word specifically, and I've heard it before, but it is the perfect word to talk about chefs. There's something about working in restaurants like you're putting on a show every night. I never was back at a house, but I was front of house at lots of different restaurants in Los Angeles for years and years and years. And every night you kind of had that same energy you would get when you do a show, and it really is putting on a show. So being back there when you're really the stars of it, especially in a glass kitchen, and it has that same type of attitude, I'm a musician myself. I'm around musicians all the time. They're the same type of person in lots of ways, right?
Yeah, there's a show, and in the restaurant, it's kind of funny. On Mondays and Tuesdays, they're like, "Hey, chef, why don't you come around on Mondays and Tuesdays?" And I was like, "You don't pull out the Ferrari to drive slow, bro. I come out for the big nights, I like the adrenaline and stuff." And you're right. Yeah, there's the build up. There's the big, the tickets, the music's pumping, the people are yelling, people this. And then the problem is why I'm drinking the NA beer was the come down from those insane Friday, Saturday nights was going to just get drunk with your friends.
And your shift ends at what, 12 a.m., 1 a.m., whatever.
You get done, by the time the kitchen's clean and everything, it's 11 something. And so the good thing is the industry kept me from being an alcoholic, but it also allowed me to become a boozer. I'm not an alcoholic, but I was a boozer because my runway was really short. Had I had a 9-to-5 job, I would have been drinking at 5 o'clock. But the fact I could only start drinking at 11 o'clock, maybe and bars close at 1:30, 2 o'clock.
But then daylight saving time come around and fuck that whole thing.
Just blow it. So that kept me from having problems, was having that intense job and having a short runway of drinking.
Why is it so intense? I get that it's literally a pressure cooker. I mean, there's tickets coming in, people are yelling and all this stuff, but you're making food and, ruining somebody's meal is not a great thing and people will get upset, but then they move on. It's not like surgery, and yet it feels like it, when you're doing it.
Well, there's a lot of pride. If you love to cook, you have a lot of pride, and if you get your steak set back, all the other cooks are looking at you going, "Loser."
I guess I never thought about that before.
Loser. You let us down because I'm making the sides, I'm making the salads, I'm making the smalls. We all got to come together on this thing. And if your dish comes up 3 minutes after theirs, you're a loser again. You're bringing us down because you instill through the leadership, you instill this idea of greatness. And one lost customer is the end of the world. Right? Because one lost customer will go tell more people "Oh, I had a shitty experience at a restaurant," right? So you want everyone coming out of here going, "Oh, I just had the best meal ever. That's the best steak I ever had. That's the best, chicken, carrots, whatever it is." So we instill in our entire staff that every single guest counts.
One thing I was going to ask you was what makes a great restaurant, because I think it's obviously the food, but it's not just the food. And I think you almost kind of answered it there because it's the passion. You know, if you let something down on your chain of if you're on your link of the chain, sorry, I lost my metaphor there. It affects everybody else in the whole restaurant, the front of the house, the back of the house, people. So everyone has to be working together. Everyone has to be passionate about what they're doing. Otherwise, the whole thing kind of falls apart.
100%.
I answered my own question as if I knew what I'm talking about.
No, you do. You 100% do. I've always believed that food is very important. Design is very important, right? And as a chef, this took me years to remove myself from this idea that food isn't all that matters, right? But now as a restaurateur, I know that food is very important. Ambiance is very important. But the service and the hospitality is the top of the pyramid, right? I don't know if this is the new food pyramid or the old food pyramid. I'm not sure which one we're on anymore.
With the grain on the bottom?
Yeah. But it's the most important thing, right? From the minute I walk in, the hostess is talking to you and saying hello. Your support staff coming and making sure you got water, you're dialed in. The server, the managers coming to check on you. All of those things are so important. Tom Colicchio from Top Chef fame, he told me back in the day when we were all kind of coming up, he goes, oh, you guys are all going to be little mini celebrities, right? He said, I've seen so many of you fail. I was season 3, so he'd seen 2 seasons of people that had failed. He said, you rush off, you open your restaurants without knowing exactly what you're doing. He said, don't be in a hurry to do that. And he said, remember, they will come to the restaurant because you've got a name. They will come to the restaurant because of the design and check it out. He said, if your food is the greatest food they've ever had and their service is horrible, they will not come back. He said, if your food is average and their service is spectacular, they will come back time and time and time again.
Interesting.
So it is all service is the most important thing in the restaurant business.
How do you make that leap from being the chef? I mean, there's so many levels to this. Like you start off and then you got to get to like being the head of the chefs, right?
Yes.
And then from there to being a restaurateur, those are completely different things.
Yes.
Because restaurateur, you're a businessman, really, as opposed to a chef. Like I like to think of it as an art, as somebody who doesn't, I'm a terrible cook, by the way.
Well, being a restaurateur is also a different art. You know, you're working with the designers, you're doing the uniforms, you're doing the plates, you're doing the music, you're doing the sounds, the elements. My business partner, Chris Puffer, and I, who opened this restaurant, we're about to have our 10-year anniversary right now. He is the guiding force in the front of the house. He's taught me everything I know about service. We used to work together back in the olden days at the Ocean Air, which was an iconic old restaurant here. But he had the fundamentals of service that took our service standards to an entirely another level, right? And so that he's instilled that and brought the whole team and now all the general managers who work with us and all the people at the different restaurants kind of have those fundamentals, right? And he knows as much about food now as I do about service.
That's great. So you guys kind of like cross-pollinate.
Yes. So
how do you do all this? You have how many restaurants do you have? You have at least 6 that I know.
There's
right?
6 right now, 1 under construction.
Unbelievable. And they're not in one geographical location either. They're spread out.
we did it. So I'm just kidding. This is easy compared to how we did it the first time. The first time we opened restaurants, we opened a restaurant called Seersucker in the Gas Lamp. Iconic, crazy. It was in 2010. Nobody had opened a restaurant for 2 years because of the real estate crash. And the restaurant had a line. It was packed. It did $10 million first year. Holy my God. So we just were on fire. We were opening restaurants in Del Mar. We did Burlap, Asian Cowboy. Seersucker was New American Classic. Gingham in La Mesa was barbecue and fried chicken, right? We did Gabardine in Point Loma, which was a Portuguese seafood bar.
Oh, man.
We did Herringbone, which was an Italian fishing village. We did all of those, and then we made more of each of them. And luckily, we were able to sell out of those at the time because we did it all wrong. We moved too fast. We didn't have the culture. You have to have the culture. You have to move slowly, build the culture, and leave a little part of yourself in each restaurant that you open, because in the olden days, we were moving too fast. As soon as we were opening the next one, we were looking behind us going, it's on fire. the staff isn't committed. It's not right. We didn't instill enough of hospitality in the servers. The cooks don't know what they're doing. And so we were able to get out of that, sell controlling interest to Hakkasan back in the day. But we had restaurants in Hawaii, Mexico, Arizona, Texas, Vegas, LA. So now we have restaurants in San Diego, and then my brother and I started our own little group, and we opened our first one in my hometown of Bend, Oregon, to represent the Cowboys up there in Bend, Oregon.
And you're cooking up Al, I think is what it is.
Yeah, Al. It was Al. Now they're just numbers. Now,
okay.
So we are raising our own beef at the restaurant Hawkeye and Huckleberry Lounge in Bend, Oregon, at the ranch I grew up on, the P-Bar B. So we are still.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're still there. But we did 13 steers last year. And that probably was about 3% of the beef that restaurant sold.
Wow.
Yes.
Because you get a lot of beef from one of those animals,
you
right?
do, but you don't realize if you just sell the fillets, the New Yorks, the ribeyes, all those fancy primals, you go through 2-3 cows a night.
Holy God.
Yeah, because you're just like, we sold 50 fillets. We did this, we did this, we did this. You're just selling this gone. So selling all the offcuts and the legs, the shoulders, the back, everything like that. That's what takes a while to sell.
And are you managing that as well?
I don't manage any of it, to be honest.
I don't understand how a human being can even keep this many plates going.
I have people, we've put together a team of people that we trust and believe in. We have directors here in San Diego that really run the restaurants. We have the meetings with them. We go to tastings. Aiden Owen, the next superstar on the planet, is right back there.
Okay.
We have chefs better than I am. And we get to go to tastings and be like, I love this. Did you ever think about this? There's just the team and the infrastructure is so big. And so up in Bend, Oregon, we have Carlos Anthony. Carlos Anthony is also a Food Network. He's my oldest son. Not really, but feels like it, looks like it.
Well, he started here, correct?
He was here for 8 years.
Unbelievable. Yeah, yes. Now he's on Tournament of Champions with Claudette, another friend of the
He's
show.
on Tournament of Champions, Claudette. And so Carlos is up there, so he's running the butcher shop. So we just shot a bunch of content of him actually taking down these cows.
Oh, man.
It's insane. So he's really gotten good at it. He's got a mullet going. He wears a cowboy hat now.
Leaned completely into it.
I should get him a little Copenhagen thing so he can get the little round circle in the back of the pants.
That's the bragging rights, man. You have to have that circle on your butt, otherwise you're not a real cowboy.
100%.
God, unbelievable. Well, on top of doing all of this, you also compete on television, which is its own entire different thing, which is, what most people know you from is knowing your face from doing all these things. First off, I guess it started because of Top Chef, right? Is how all this, you got into all this. How does that industry even work? I don't understand. Every aspect of it is baffling to me. Let me start with this. Let me just pick an actual question, which my wife will be very happy I asked you. On Guy's Grocery Games, is that an actual grocery store? How does it work?
It's crazy.
Is it an actual grocery store?
It's just a soundstage. It's literally a grocery store that it's not pretend grocery store. It's a real grocery store, but nobody's allowed to shop there.
How much would that cost to
So they donate all of that food, because when you go look at the ribeyes, there's like 6 ribeyes, and they're real, and they're good. There's like lobster, and there's fish, and there's this, but the wheel or the ball or whatever never bounces your way. All of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, you gotta walk the grocery store for like 20 minutes before you cook.
Okay.
So you kind of eyeball stuff, but there's no point in eyeballing it, because then he's gonna be like, you can only use the dry goods, And so it's got real produce, it's got real everything in it, but it is just to shoot. But they shoot 2 shows a day. And so they'll block it for like 2 weeks and just go boom, 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 boom. So
that makes sense, okay.
They'll shoot like an entire season in one stretch.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And then they'll donate all of the perishable product to local homeless shelters.
That's awesome.
And then they'll set it up again, and they'll load it all up. It's in Santa Rosa.
Okay.
So Guy's so powerful that he doesn't come to Hollywood anymore. He makes Hollywood come to him.
Awesome.
So there will be like 150 people, all from LA, living in the little town of Santa Rosa in hotels to work at this, so Guy can drive directly to work.
In the culinary industry, because he's a chef as well, but he's much more well-known for people outside of that for his television thing.
He's an iconic figure.
He's like the mayor of like everything culinary, like he's really built an entire empire. Is it like that? Like when you get in, I don't say like the good graces, like blessed, but it's almost like Johnny Carson of like chefs, it feels like.
It's huge. It's huge. There's only a few people kind of in that caliber. The Gordon Ramsay has his giant camp. Guy has his. Bobby, to some degree, has his. There was the Giada stuff. Guy is a cultural figure, right? I went to the Super Bowl with him a few years ago, and celebrities run to him. Right? They just go, oh my God! Like you see people that are just like, because he's like, the hair, the jewelry, the tattoos, people from all walks of life flood to him. And it's just like, I'm just like, you stand back, you're like, oh my gosh. Like it's a large thing he deals with.
Yeah, I can imagine. how different is cooking on a show than it is like cooking in a kitchen?
A million times different.
Really?
Yeah. The time that everyone's like, are the clocks real? I'm like, yeah, they're real. They're real. You just have to throw caution to the wind. And Aiden has started doing. He's going to be on his first Food Network show here shortly.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah.
Can you say what it is, or is
no?
it?
I don't think we can do that yet.
Embargo.
I don't think we're allowed to do that yet. But yeah, so Carlos followed my footsteps. I jokingly say I took Carlos to Bring Your Son to Work Day, and he stayed. And so Aiden is doing his own path, and he's done his own show now. But when you go do that thing, when you go into the cooking arenas like that, it's hard to be prepared. You almost just have to go blank. Like, I have no idea what's coming my way.
Yeah.
It's going to be combinations I normally wouldn't practice or think of. And how fast can you ad-lib? That's what it's all about.
Ad-libbing for a cook is crazy. You just have to understand what certain flavors are and how they work with each other. Is that like,
100%.
For a layman, that's the way you would get into it?
Yes. And I mean, if you've made it this far, that's just your second nature.
Yeah.
That's what it is, We all have different kind of styles and different this. And it's a lot more than just cooking your food. If you can figure out who the judges are, you have to cook for the judges. You're like, oh, Manit likes this. So-and-so likes this. I got to cook this for this person. That's an Italian chef. I got to do this. And so you're going, what does the judge want?
Yeah.
What, is it presentation? Is it big, bold flavors? Like, the good thing for me when I'm on the cooking shows, and although I don't ever win, I personally believe I've won every cooking competition.
Yeah.
No. I've won every single one I'm on. I firmly believe they go, he's doing just fine. He doesn't need this.
That's what it is. Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't need this.
It'd be gauche, honestly. Yeah.
He doesn't need this. Because a lot of the chefs on the Food Network do not have their own restaurants or anything like that. I'm pretty sure that if it's ever very close, they're like, Malarkey's fine. Malarkey's fine.
What an amazing bump for your business, though, to get that type of publicity out there.
So that's what changed my life, was this first season of Top Chef in 2007, season 3 of Top Chef, back in the olden days. There was only 57 channels with nothing on. There wasn't this whole social media craze. There was nothing. So when I was on that season, I became so crazy famous in San Diego because all of San Diego was rooting for me.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I walk into a Starbucks, I would get mobbed. I went everywhere. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. They don't have the same force that they used to. We're on season 900 of Top Chef now. So people are like, oh, I was on Top Chef. I'm like, congratulations, good.
Yeah.
It was just, I got very fortunate back in the olden days that the whole city was watching.
Yeah.
Now there's YouTubes and streaming devices and so many cooking competitions. There wasn't even a lot of cooking competition shows back in the olden days. So I was very fortunate to be one of those early pioneers in that, and that launched all of my early restaurants.
It's such an interesting time for anybody trying to get into media, right? For that exact reason. Now you have to compete with everybody and everything that's already been done.
Yes.
But the barrier to entry is much lower. So it's like, it's good, it's bad, there's new struggles, there's things that could have happened in the past that can't really happen now. And at the same time, I used to work at the Hollywood Reporter, and so I followed media. That was my job to do it. Food Network is the strangest, it's like an outlier. Everything else on linear television has seen declining numbers. And I'm sure their numbers probably have declined a little bit, but they're as relevant as they have ever been, I feel like. They're like the one that keeps going
Kind
on.
of a cultural phenomenon. I was just at the South Beach Food and Wine Festival a week and a half ago with Guy, with everyone. They did a giant Tournament of Champions live thing.
Awesome.
And when he invited me down there, I was like, oh, cool, I'll get on stage, I'll cook with somebody, it'll be fun. No, it's about 20 of us, and we each have to make 2,500 portions in a big giant tent and feed 2,500 people, and they're the judges. And I mean, it was fun, but it was exhausting. And Carlos didn't get invited, so I made him my sous chef. So there was 2 of us. So Carlos, I have a callus, which I hadn't had in years. I mean, we did beef tartare for 2,500 people. It was insane.
Man, how many cows is that?
That's a lot of cow. It's about 150 pounds of perfectly cubed beef that Carlos and I cut ourselves. But the people, it was 3,000 of the craziest fans ever. I mean, I felt like a rock star. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. They're like, shenanigans, we love you. And these people paid like $500 a ticket to come to this thing. Guy's MCing. He's up there with, God, who was it? Run DMC.
It was the last thing in the world I expected to come out of your mouth right there.
It was so fun. It was so fun. We were up on stage with Run, and it was just out of control.
Man.
Or is it DMC? I'm not sure.
Were you wearing Adidas?
I don't know if he had Adidas on. How would you? He can't take Adidas off.
I feel like he's locked into that for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's the look. He had a jumpsuit though. Sorry,
it was a good look.
Yeah. I couldn't take my eyes off the jumpsuit, but I'm sure the Adidas were down there.
How often are you back in the kitchen? Like,
when we open new restaurants, a lot, but this thing has such its own identity now.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, this is Aidan Owen's restaurant now. He is the chef here. He's only like 27, 28 years old, from Australia. He runs not only this restaurant, but Urban Sea and Encinitas. And his techniques and his flavors and stuff like that are light years ahead of what I did or will ever do. I mean, they're so good. And then we have Tara Monson, who runs Anime and Le Coq, which she's James Beard finalist 3 years in a row.
Wow.
I mean, I would say Anime is the best restaurant in Southern California.
I have heard that independently from many people. My wife used to work in the building that Anime is in.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever actually been there. You been to Anime?
Oh, it's mind-boggling. Yeah. And it's not pretentious little like dot food. It's like, she's Filipino. It's got Asian backbones. She uses lots of different genres of styles. It's just every bite is like, God damn. Like, it's like, whoa. It's just like the flavor and the soul and it's so good. And you see a lot of those great same flavors at Le Coq, our new restaurant, our French Asian restaurant in La Jolla.
This is a terrible question, and I can't imagine you're going to have it right off the top of your head.
True.
That's exactly right, actually. What's the best thing you ever ate?
What's the best thing I ever ate?
Or do you have a favorite dish even, like even if it wasn't one specific meal that you had?
It's so tough. My best bite in town is I have to have it once a year. We go for my girlfriend Danielle Harley's birthday, is at June and Jolie, right? And it's this Gruyere, it's a little toast with like Iberico jamon. I think it has like uni on it and caviar, and it's just like,
oh my God.
It's like, what's going on here? I'm not quite right. Like that's one of those eye closers, right?
Yeah.
And that's that bite right there just freezes me. Everything that Aidan and Tara are cooking right now, all of them have that. There's a crudo here that the green sauce, you're just like, what? I can put everything in this sauce, right? Like, it's just got so much acid and brightness and floral and flavors to it. And then Tara has some dishes. She has a pork chop down there that is just insanity.
God, I love
She's
pork
got
chops.
this scallop crudo thing down there. Everything at their menus are great. Some of my favorite restaurants in town, everything at June and Jolie, they have Campfire, they have the bakery. They're amazing. I love everything Brad Wise does. He's got a lot of local restaurants. Travis Swikert just opened his new restaurant. He had Cali, and I do believe I don't know. Brad just opened a French restaurant too. I can't remember their names. They're kind of similar. We have some amazing talents here in San Diego.
Has that changed recently? Like, has it grown?
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah. Brad's been down here pumping it for a while with me. Travis has been down there. Callie's not new, so she's been around for a little bit. You definitely see more of an influx, past COVID. A lot of people ran out of LA. You're here.
I literally did exactly that, yeah. To eat, not to start restaurants.
Yeah, 100%. But a lot of people, have come to San Diego because it's an amazing boutique city, a B-sized city, and it's got great weather. It's a nice city, and it's got great produce. It's got great fish. We have a lot of great stuff down here. We have Mexico right there at our doorstep that provides so much great produce for us. So it's definitely attracted more people.
I think
more chefs.
At least for me, and obviously I host a show where we drink beers on it, but the beer here I think is celebrated nationally. Like, everybody knows that there's
100%.
beer from here, and it's amazing.
Yes.
We've had many brewers on, and they're awesome. But the food, I feel like from outside
Athletic,
of San Diego.
Athletic is essentially local.
Yeah, so they're based in Vermont, but then they have one here.
No,
right?
they're giant plant. They just bought the Ballast Point facility.
Oh, did they really?
Yes, the giant one where they're making. Yes, I do believe that they've taken the Ballast Point facility up there.
That's interesting.
And
we should have them on. Man.
Oh my God, yes, these guys spend a lot of time here. This is very, very hyper local here. I think their biggest producer is right here.
Do you have a lot of those? I mean, not just like beer vendors, but obviously chefs are going to come in here. You're going to know the chefs, but it's not just food, like, and since beer is such a big thing here, are those people coming through here?
We used to have them all the time. So yeah, the Stone Brewery guys, the Ballast Point guys, so many of them. I used to be very well rehearsed in all my local breweries because we'd go check them all out all the time. Now I spend more time with the kids and at the beach and enjoying my NAs. But it's a horribly tough industry, and there's been a massive turnover in that industry also. It skyrocketed. I mean, just think when Sculpin sold for $1 billion.
Crazy.
You know? Well, Sculpin sold for 90 million recently.
Yeah.
You know? So it's a very roller coaster. Honestly, I love beer. I love wine tremendously. We're living in a cocktail world now. We are living in a cocktail world. We can look at our P&Ls, and wine and beer sales are, and everybody wants spirits.
Really?
Tequila, gin, vodka.
And is it you mixing them at the bar, or is it like pre-packed?
Nope. 100%. People want just mixed cocktails.
That's very fascinating. I haven't heard that before. Is there a specific one that kind of stands out?
Yeah, everybody wants some sort of a margarita. A skinny girl margarita is the hottest drink there is.
They're pretty good. I think my wife gets that literally anywhere we go. Anytime we're anywhere.
Or ranch water.
Yeah, ranch water is also
ranch water. Tequila is just at a crazy high because everyone's convinced that you don't get a hangover from tequila.
I can attest that you do.
It's the dark tequilas. The white ones are supposed to be like bulletproof.
All right, well, tonight, that's what we'll be doing.
It's incredible how, because the cocktail culture is massive, and there's so many people making so many great drinks.
Yeah.
Wine is really taking a back seat to a lot of these things lately, you know?
It's a little sad to me because wine, there's so much work involved in it. You
So
have to be a
much.
farmer and everything. But it's interesting to talk to a chef about people who make cocktails, you know, like mixologists or whatever that word is that they use, which is fine. Sorry, I'm not trying to denigrate it. I'm just saying when you're talking to a chef, how do you think about people who like put flavors together in a drink?
They're brilliant.
Because it's almost, you have to be more limited
They're the
in what you
chefs
do.
of the bar.
Yeah,
they're the chefs of the bar. And it's not all bartenders. You usually have like one or two that really get it. And you know what it is? It's so amazing. I can't get it. I could never have gone in and been a mixologist. I don't have a balance. My
Really?
sweet to my bitter to this, and then just the way that they just balance everything and they put a little twist on it, and they're using. It's an amazing art.
I think that is incredibly high praise coming from someone like you. For people
Yeah, I'm more fire, oil, knives, fat, meat, vegetable. Yes.
All right, this isn't for me specifically, but let's say somebody wasn't a great cook and you just had to give like one piece of advice to somebody who wants to get better at cooking.
You go to my website and then it links you to it links you to all the restaurants. You can go to my website, it links you to all the restaurants. Go out and support your local restaurants. It's so funny. I used to do a ton of cooking classes around locally, like before I was anybody. I used to go, there was a place in PB that had cooking classes, and that's how I got really good at talking in front of people and cooking, and doing that was I just did it because I was making extra $250 and any amount of money helped at the time. And I don't even know why I said, and then after a while I started going, why am I doing this? Why am I teaching people how to cook? This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Thank God the Food Network doesn't give you cooking classes anymore. You just watch cooking as entertainment, right? We were actually teaching people to be independent and be able to live without us.
Compete against
What were we thinking? I mean, like, good. We want you to come to the restaurants. Burn everything at home.
Yeah, Julia Child almost tanked this entire industry.
You shouldn't even have an oven in your house unless it's Blue Star. Thank you very much, Blue Star.
Nice. So let's get some sponsors out there. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, last question for you. I just got back from New Orleans, and the food there is absolutely insane. Like, every single thing I ate was crazy.
Do you say that right? New Orleans?
How do you say it?
New Orleans.
I don't know. Look at you. All right.
I lived in Louisiana for a summer.
Oh, yeah. Did you pick up some skills?
Yeah, I picked up get out of town.
I was there for 4 days, and I was like, I need to get out of here. But the food was amazing. Do you have a favorite city for food?
You know what? I'm really excited about this. Before COVID, so Puffer and I, my business partner and I, before we had opened a restaurant, one of our favorite things to do is travel to New York, Chicago, Austin, Texas, Nashville. Go check out restaurant cities and really see what's going on. San Francisco, LA. And our favorite, time and time again, was going to Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
And I don't know why. It was just like this blue collar, everything small, boutique-y, craftsman, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Incredible restaurant scene, right? Portland, Oregon, but a lot of them got devastated, especially the West Coast big cities.
Yeah.
And so Portland's been in shambles for a while. There are some amazing restaurants, but a lot of people closed, a lot of people moved. I'm opening a restaurant in Portland, Oregon this summer with my brother, James. And we opened a restaurant in Bend, Oregon. That's where Carlos is at. But we're like, let's go save Portland. Let's go see what we can do to help Portland out. Like it's downtown is devastated.
Yeah.
All kinds of great restaurants in the outlying areas, but nobody comes through the tunnels or across the bridges anymore. And man, just legendary restaurants and the produce and the products and so much and the wine and the beer is so good up there. And it's got that kind of gloomy winter, and those gloomy winters make you really good restaurants, you know? People are indoors and they're cooking a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be part of the Portland, Oregon restaurant scene. We'll open this summer.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Also, I mean, Bend and Portland aren't exactly that close to each other, so it's not like a hometown thing going.
2.5 hours, 3 hours. I was born in Portland.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, giving back.
I got a lot of family in Portland still, so we're going up there and gonna have a really good time.
All right, we're gonna have to make a missionary trip up there to Portland, Oregon.
Yes, we will.
Awesome, Brian. Thank you so much for doing this. It was
hey,
awesome.
I want to add one more thing.
Yeah,
here.
please.
So I just came from the job fair at my kids' high school.
Okay.
I have 3 kids in high school, Point Loma High School. Mariano, the chef here that works with Aiden, him and I, big Hispanic guy, I had to have my Hispanic representation because a lot of the kids there are Hispanic, and I wanted them to know that there's a possibility of doing the culinary arts. I'm talking to my kids and their friends, and so many of them don't know what they want to do. This is something near and dear to my heart, and they don't know what they want to do. And I'm like going, well, rather than go jump into college like we're programmed to do when we were young, I said, go work in some different trades. And I keep saying, I call it hand jobs, but it doesn't go over very well, all right? You gotta do the hand jobs. The hand jobs are so important.
You went to a high school and told the hopeless kid about the hand jobs.
If you're really good at the hand jobs, the doors just open up, all right? So, but the reality is that I tell these kids, get into something like the culinary field, be a carpenter, electrician, a plumber. These things, people have not been flocking to them, and the door is wide open. All of these young kids thinking they're going to be an influencer, a professional sports gambler, day traders. These are the new things they want to be. This is what they want now, right?
Professional gambler.
How old did you say your kid was?
She's 5.
No phones.
Yeah.
No phones.
Yep.
Do not give them the phones. Do not. The phones are the death of us. You know, the people that created those, they do not give their kids the phones. The social media. We destroyed one generation. Let us learn from that. I did that. My kids, like they're just here. Their life is here. You wake them up in the morning, you hear them. They're looking at it. They're on it. And I'm like going. So get into these jobs that you use your hands for, because AI is going to steal everything else really quick, and it's going to be a while before Elon and the crew figures out how to make the robots cook the food and build the house. We're done after that. But
there's a happy window there.
You got it for a while, because you can go work in a kitchen and get paid and not take debt. You can go work as an apprentice plumber and learn the trade and be paid as you become a professional electrician. And all of these jobs you can work. And it's not glorious at the beginning. You're gonna be stacking wood for the carpenter. You're gonna be washing dishes for the chef, but you're getting paid for that. And you're not taking on that debt. So I just want this whole future generation to know that there is all of these great opportunities, and you can be, you know, the electrician in 5 years. You're certified. You can start your own company. You'll be a millionaire in 7 years. You can hire your friends. You can do this. And so there's so many great opportunities out there, but the schools aren't teaching it. And essentially, I'm going, don't go to college. You know, Timothy Leary back in the olden days was, get high, drop out. I'm not saying get high, but drop out. Drop out, okay?
Drop out, do hand jobs.
Do hand jobs on the street corner, and everything's fine.
Hey, look, you're preaching my life. My father was a master electrician, raised our family by being an electrician, you know, and then I went and I flunked out of college as well, and then I worked in restaurants and, you know, found my way doing what I did later. But yeah, I'm a big proponent for the trades.
It's so much better if you don't take on that giant student debt right now.
No kidding.
And nobody knows what they want to do. You know, even me at my age, I'm like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I'm still having fun, but I'm like going, And so you just get on life training. You know, all you have to do is show up with a great attitude and be like, hello, thank you, yes, I want to do that, yes. And then I said, when you're the dishwasher, right? Take the restaurant industry. When you're the dishwasher, be the best dishwasher.
Hell yeah.
Be the best dishwasher. I saw a Tyler Florence interview the other day, and he said, where'd you start? He goes, dish. And he goes, oh, well, what happened? He goes, I was the best dishwasher they ever saw in their lives.
Hell
and
yeah.
like, that's just be the best at everything. And then all of a sudden, the cooks and the chefs are going, God, let's get this guy out here.
Yeah.
Well, then you're in prep. Well, I'm the best prep you've ever seen, right? Well, you're gonna work salads. I'm the best salad guy. I can do the job of 2 people. I'm more organized, I'm more clean, I'm more efficient. I do this, I do exactly what you asked me to do. You're just gonna go fly up the ladder in any position or any profession you're in.
I agree, and this goes back to what you said at the beginning about just being passionate about what you're doing. You know, it's infectious too. You see anybody doing anything and they're passionate about it, and it'll make you like inspired to do that too. It's just inertia watching somebody like do something.
100%,
you want to do it as well.
100%.
Yeah.
So hopefully we influence a few kids to, I don't care if it's work in the culinary field, but go look at opportunities in different trades that don't require going and spending a lot of money to go to school to learn. And then with YouTube and everything else, you can learn everything.
Oh, yeah,
if
absolutely.
you're just self-motivated, you can go watch it and learn how to do everything right now. So there's just so much out there. So stop the day trading, stop the sports gambling, stop the influencing whatever TikTok dances, whatever they're doing anymore. So.
We need like that the more you know rainbow there at the end, and then we'll do this guy. It's awesome. Brian, thank you so much. This was amazing. Appreciate it. Shake your hand. Yeah. Cheers.